right, guys, we're back, and we're with the Tahoe. We finally have had some stuff come in. We haven't worked on this thing in a while,
Yeah.
so we've gotten real busy, guys. I'm sure y'all understand, but part of the reason was we needed some stuff to come in. Skylar, tell us what we've had come in.
So there's actually more that's not here right now that you'll see later in the video that we ordered and was waiting on. But for right now, we've got a bunch of stuff. So first things first, we got these bolts from McMaster Car.
Yes.
So Ernest and whoever else mentioned this on the
thank
video.
y'all so much.
We ordered them. They look great. They're probably going to work perfect. They're the right length. They're the right threads. They're threaded all the way.
Yeah, that's
Finally.
the problem, guys. If you're trying to get a big carriage bolt, most of the time this part is not threaded. So it was very difficult to find some that are that big,
Yep.
that are threaded all the way, which is what we were going to have. So
Yep.
thank you, Ernest, and the other guy. But, guys, if y'all need nuts and bolts,
Yes, they are
We
by
had-
far the place to go.
they are. We had
And-
already checked out stores, websites, all kinds of other places. This is your go-to place.
This box over here, I'm not going to say what it is yet because I don't know if we're going to use this or not, but this also came from McMaster Car. So
Right.
I'll leave that as it is. But we got all the nuts that we need as well. We did have to go with 5/8.
Yep.
The original nuts and washers we got that we could not find the bolts for were 3/4. These are 5/8, so we did have to go a little smaller, but I think they're still, those are
That's
some pretty
still-
big old bolts.
And that's the same size that we're using in his current box already, where we're doing the same thing, but only with a couple of them.
Yeah, so we're only using 2 in that box, and I got 10 of these. So we're going to be using 10 of them. They should be plenty strong and all that. But yeah, by far the best selection I've ever seen in-store, online, anywhere. So
Yeah, we're not affiliated with them. We just
Yeah.
we're fans already.
I will
but-
be ordering just about every nut and bolt I need from here again. And they seem to have pretty good prices too. A lot cheaper than I think they was even cheaper than the stuff we got from Ace Hardware.
Wow.
So anyway, very good selection. We got some PL Max here for some other stuff I'll show you. Probably the 2 biggest things we got physically and project wise. So we got a whole bunch of this stuff. Some Second Skin sound deadener.
Yeah, got the
We're gonna
good, got the good stuff. There's a lot
Yeah,
of
this is
good
the-
stuff, but this is what we wanted to
Yeah,
go with.
I know
Guys,
it's tried and true. I'm sure y'all have all seen it on Steve Mead's channel.
Yeah.
This is the Second Skin Damplifier Pro. This is the good stuff.
yeah.
And
Guys,
I've never messed with sound deadener before. I don't think
Yeah,
either
me
one of
either.
us have.
No,
So
no.
I
guys, sound deadener is ridiculous expensive.
yes.
Skylar, how much
Yeah.
was them 2 boxes?
Those 2 boxes, like after discount codes, and the cheapest website I could find was nearly $800.
Yeah,
So
crazy.
very, very expensive. But with that, I've never dealt with it. I didn't want to get. I know the Amazon basic stuff is also rated to be pretty good. Some of the other brands are rated to be pretty good, like the Killmat and some of those other ones. I know a lot of people like those, but I just didn't want to have to ever redo it. And I know if Steve Mead's using it, this is probably some really good stuff. And I'm sure he's done it a whole lot more than I have. So,
Yeah.
anyway, it's the same stuff that he's using in both of his sons' vehicles now for the roof and everything. So, if you don't realize already, we're going to be sound deadening the whole roof. This is enough to do the whole vehicle plus some, I think. So we're going to be doing the whole roof, all the fenders and doors and hatch and like everything. I don't know. We're probably not going to do the floor because the floor is going to have the wood mounted down to it. So that's going to strengthen it up probably more than the sound deadener would. And this is already pretty strong by itself. So don't think it's really needed to do that. Maybe if we end up getting the carpet up anyway, we might throw some down there and towards the front of the vehicle. But back here and everything, I don't think we will. We got plenty to do that. But anyway, enough of that. This big box right here is our next biggest contender. And I've been really torn on if I wanted to do this or not with this box for a long time now. I've never really planned on it, but I've always had it in the back of my head. So this is some really nice 1-inch thick plexiglass. We're putting plexiglass in the new box.
Acrylic to be exact.
Yeah, it
right?
is. Yeah, it's acrylic. clear, transparent acrylic. So we're going to be putting a big see-through window on this box, and it is 1 inch thick. It is, I think, 24 by 36 right now, but we'll have to cut that down to whatever size. So this is going to be bolted to the front. It's going to look just like my existing box that's already, of course, bigger size because the whole box is bigger, but you know what I'm saying. It's the same, should be same proportionally. Lot thicker. That's only 1/2 inch. This is 1 inch. Should be a lot stronger. We're going to use like bolts and fasten it a lot better than how we have that one, and use some better foam and stuff like that. So anyway,
Yeah,
That's
the see-through and the lights and stuff has always just been such a cool thing about his current box. At the end of the day, just wanted to have that in this one too.
I knew I didn't ever want to build this box and then be like, dang, I wish we would have put glass in it, or dang, I missed those lights or whatever. So I was like, you know what? If it loses a 0.5 dB or 2 dBs or 10 dBs, I don't care. It looks cool. I've always enjoyed the lights, probably more than I ever thought I would. So I would have hated to not have that anymore. And
we're hoping for the best. It is going to be the thinnest piece on the box because all the wood is 1.5 inches.
Yeah, and this
that's
is
going
1
to
inch.
be 1 inch.
So
we hope it don't flex.
Yeah, this is.
But if it does, we may try to brace it. I don't know yet about that. We're hoping for the best on it.
So this is like pretty heavy. Like it's probably heavier than the front piece that's sitting down there. Like the wood anyway. So I don't know. It may end up being pretty strong since it is a full inch thick. You know, the thicker you have, the stronger it'll be. But it's still not as thick as that. So I don't know how it'll hold up, but it should do better than that glass. But we're gonna have a lot more pressure in this box. So I guess we'll see. But I'm willing to risk it because I love the look and stuff of that box. But and then the wooden roller, I didn't show that, but it's just a roller to put the sound deadener on.
That was actually something we already No, we've got 2 of those rollers. One we already had and one that came with that, right?
Yes, we got one that came free with some order several years ago, and then this one.
Was that free or did you buy that?
No, it was free with the order.
Gotcha.
But
all right, so an enormous amount of work, guys. Y'all know how slow we've been going anyway, and this thing's carrying out way longer than we intended on it going. And we keep adding to what we want to do. So I don't know, guys. This thing might carry on all year. Who knows? But we're willing to stick it out and work through it at a whatever rate it takes to produce a high quality product. If y'all will hang in there with us. We'll continue to document it and let y'all join along.
Yeah, this plexiglass, just wanted to keep it a secret a little bit for a while, because while I was thinking about if I want to do it, if I didn't want to do it, I didn't want to say I was going to do it in one video and then, you know, we put the box in here and we're playing and there's no glass and y'all are a little disappointed. So, but I mean, it's here. It's a lot more expensive than you'd probably think.
Once you get that thick, it's acrylic is expensive anyway. But once you get
when you start getting thicker, it's way expensive. Like I can't remember how much I paid for the 1/2 inch that's in that box. It was like, I know it was less than 100. I want to say it was like $50 or $60, but this was well over 100. I think it might have been like 2 something.
Yeah, and that was where you found like a pretty good deal.
Yeah, this was a really good deal compared to most websites. But we're not actually working on any of this. So we've been talking for however long now, but
yeah, today's video is actually going to be something completely different. In fact, we'll come back here in just a minute and we'll show you what it is.
The other stuff I ordered, I was talking about. So we'll show that.
All right, so let's get to that.
All right, guys. So last clip I said we're not working on any of that stuff in the Tahoe. So this is what we are working on. I got some B2 8-inch speakers. Little history. I bought these, ended up realizing these aren't going to work, so I bought these. These are some really nice kicker. The square 9-inch, really beefy mid-range speakers. They're both 4 ohms. These are 4 ohms. These are 4 ohms. But these are just some cheap B2 speakers. I think, gosh, I don't know. They may be the cheapest speakers that B2 makes. But these are the 9-inch Kicker ST Street Series or whatever. And these are the B2 Riot 8 Power. I'm not going to be using this. I just still have them. They are for sale. It came in a set of 2. They're both brand new. Technically, they've been hooked up to make sure they play, but they've never been mounted, never been, played really. Like, we just kind of made sure they worked.
They're for sale, right, Skylar?
They are for sale. I'm going to be selling them for $150 shipped for the set, so $150, $75 for each, $150 total.
That's pretty good. They're $179.99 or 90 something on Amazon right now.
Yep.
Amazon's going to hit you with tax too, even if you are a Prime member. So they're going to cost you more than $180. But Skylar is $150 shipped. Let us know if you want them.
Yeah, I'm taking quite a bit of loss. I paid like $225 for these things. Gosh, probably about 2 years ago now. I've had them for a while, and we'll explain a little more when you see what we're doing. But got some B2s. I've always been curious about B2 speakers ever since I started watching Steve Mead several years ago. And a couple other people and whatever. I've just always been curious about them. I've always liked their style, just plain and simple. Now, these are not near as beefy of speakers or nothing, but I've always liked the red spider in there. That looks kind of cool. These are just some cheaper, I can't remember, let's see, what are these? Riot 8 Powers. They're just kind of, I think I got the set of these for like $100 from Big Jeff Audio. It's kind of hard to find the B2 speakers in the US right now because they stopped shipping them to the US, but Big Jeff is one of the people that's selling them in the US right now, so that's where I got these from. But I got this set for like $100 for 2. Got these for like $225 for 2. So these, I really wanted to use these, and I'll explain why later. But these are what we're going to be putting in the vehicle of the day. Just plain and simple, kind of cheap, but just wanted to upgrade my game here a little bit.
All right, guys, a little interaction with you here. Now, don't cheat. Put in the comments below, what vehicle do you think these are going in?
It is a vehicle of mine.
It is Skylar's vehicle.
Yep.
And drop in the comments what vehicle these are going to go in, or what type of vehicle these.
And it's not the Tahoe.
It is not the Tahoe.
It's a different vehicle.
Drop in the comments. Don't cheat. Let us know. We'll show you here in just a second.
All right, guys. This is the vehicle it's going in. This is my 2009 Chevy Corvette. It's just a base LS3 car. Jetstream blue. Bought it about 2.5 years ago. Haven't really done anything with it. It's bone stock. Pretty much the only thing I've done is tinted the windows, put some tail lights, different badges, side markers, just very, very little cosmetic things. But yeah, we're going to be putting those B2 speakers in here, and we've already done a little bit of work here. Took the door panel off and everything. So here is the stock speaker. I can't remember now if it's the driver's side or passenger side that's blown, but one of the two is blown, and it was making a really bad rattle. And there's 2 other speakers per side that are in the vehicle. So there's one that's in the door panel, it's in the trunk right now, and there's one that's in the B pillar, and then there's also this. So this is the main speaker. These are 8s from the factory. I think this is a non-Bose system car. So I think the Bose system cars had 10s in the doors. Don't quote me on that, but I think so. This is just a 8-inch regular non-Bose car. And then the others are a 3.5 in the door and a 5 1/4 in the B pillar. So it's only got 6 speakers in it, which, it's kind of a lot for such a small car. But
did you talk about we changed those already?
Yeah. So that was the point of the kicker. I wanted to get the square kickers because the other 2 speakers I've already replaced, and they're kicker speakers. So I wanted to have all kicker speakers, but then we had several issues with the kickers. I'll go get those just for...
Guys, we're dealing with a rainy day today. I'm hoping that the mic is knocking some of that out, but it's raining pretty heavy on the roof right now.
All right, so here are the B2 speakers that we're going to be replacing those with. And as you can see, these things have a real tiny, cheesy little magnet. But they are an 8-inch speaker with a little like plastic ring around it to mount it to the door, because that's a bigger hole. For, like I was saying earlier, I think the Bose system cars have 10-inch speakers in the doors. So that means for the 8-inch speaker that came in this car, they needed some other way to mount it, because the speaker wasn't going to fill the whole hole. So with that being said, we'll show you later what that's going to look like. But these kickers kind of match the other kicker speakers. I can't remember what series they are. They've been in there for a couple years now, but these were just too big. Well, they're actually about the right size, but they're square, so it's kind of hard to get somehow to mount them in there and all that. And then, of course, they're real heavy. And if you don't know, Corvettes are fiberglass, so they're not real strong structurally. And of course, with having a big old magnet that I don't know how much the speaker weighs, but it's several pounds, it might like break some of the fiberglass or cause problems.
We did weigh them, but I can't remember now.
Yeah, I can't either.
How much they weighed. But
these are also, I mean, they're decent magnets. They're not anything crazy, but they're a lot bigger than the stock factory speakers, and a lot bigger than a lot of the speakers out there. But this is, I think, the lowest series that B2 makes. And they're a lot smaller than the kickers. I don't know if it shows on camera or if you can really tell how much smaller they are, but they are round. It's going to make it a little easier to mount to have some kind of mounting bracket for that, because they're round. And
yeah, there was a clearance issue.
Yep.
With, I guess it's up. The window's up right now, but there's a bracket on the window. Well, guys, anyhow, the kickers would hit. There's a clearance issue with the kickers because they stick in there too far, and they're just simply too heavy for a fiberglass door. And these B2s are lighter. They clear that bracket just a little bit, but they do clear, and so we feel like it's a better option.
And to be honest, I kind of like the simplistic look of them. Those kickers, I don't know, having a square speaker in the door, now that I've had more time to think about it, having a square speaker in the door that is kind of made for a round speaker would look a little funny, but these are just going to look like a standard regular old speaker that you'd see anywhere else. So that's what we're going to be doing. We got some plastic that we're going to cut and make to mount this in the door. We'll show you.
What kind of plastic was that we bought?
It's 1/4-inch ABS plastic.
Okay.
So we're going to be...
Yeah, we're going to make some rings.
Yeah, we're going to be making a... I don't know exactly how we're going to do it, but we're going to make a mounting bracket that'll bolt to that, and then we're going to bolt the speaker to the bracket.
And that's what we're fixing to get to, is measuring that out and cutting that plastic.
If you're wondering, I could have just got some 10-inch speakers to fill the hole, and we wouldn't even have to be doing this probably. But it's really hard to find 10-inch speakers that are made to be small and lightweight, because most of the 10-inch speakers you see are for like pro audio stuff, so they're big magnets made to handle a lot of power. And I don't plan on amping these or putting subs or nothing crazy in this vehicle. So, I mean, they're just going to be running off of like head unit power. Really, they're not going to have to handle a whole lot of power. Which
also makes more sense. These would love to be on an amplifier.
Yeah, I think the kickers are 300 watts RMS, and the B2s are like 100 watts RMS, or maybe 150 or something. So, which they probably won't ever even see close to that, to be honest. But just makes a lot more sense for this car. So
All right, guys, let us know what y'all think about this project. Let us know what you think about the Skylar's car here. He's had this for a little while now. We've never mentioned it. We've never shown it.
Yep.
Skylar's he's actually got a couple of other toys too.
Yeah.
That y'all haven't ever seen.
Yep.
Anyhow, let's get to making some adapter rings.
Yep.
All right, guys, we're working in the floor today.
Yeah.
It's raining, and we just don't want to move everything to get our table out, so
Yep.
we're working in the floor today. We're doing the old Dean and Fernando trick.
Yep.
I'm sure it's not original with them, but we've used double-sided tape, and we are going to trace our original plastic here. And this 1/4-inch ABS, that's about how thick this is too, by the way.
Yep.
So just trying to make a pretty nice product here. So fixing to router this out. We'll let you know how it turns out.
Yep. The only thing, I meant to say this in the last clip, but I have put a radio in the Corvette as well.
Yeah,
so.
it's a nice double din Kenwood
Yep.
Exelon.
Yep.
Pretty nice radio.
I forget what the model number is, but it's really nice. It got, wireless CarPlay and all the fancy features you could ask for. I did add a backup camera. That's probably my biggest complaint about this car from the factory is it don't have a backup camera. But anyway, I got all that. Just wanted to say that in case y'all was curious.
Yep. All right, good point. All right, let's cut some plastic. All right, guys, that worked out so good. Look at that. It was just like routering a piece of wood. I mean, it makes a pretty good mess, but that cut and traced out perfectly. We're going to leave this taped together still and go ahead and drill those holes while they're still together so that they will be perfectly lined up. Then we still got to come back and cut out the circle there in the middle, but just wanted to show y'all how well that went. All right, fixing to get to some of that. All right, guys, we did some stuff off camera. We wound up getting that the hole routed out to the exact size. We did some test holes to land at the exact diameter that we wanted, and man, this thing turned out great. We've never done this before, make like custom, rings, but it came out so good. Skylar, show them.
We got the B2 speaker here. So we were planning on doing this with the kicker speaker anyway.
Yes.
But obviously with a square cut out and stuff. But like I said, that speaker ended up just being too heavy and wouldn't really have worked as well. So we got these, and let's put it in there. Boom. There we go.
Yeah, it's a really nice.
It's gonna look pretty good in there.
Really nice fit. So what we're gonna do is actually bolt the speaker
Yep.
to the plastic
Yep.
with probably a bolt and a washer and a nut, and not real sure just yet. And then if we ever take it loose, we'll take the whole,
take the whole thing.
the whole
loose.
ring loose. But this and that will be like probably bolted together.
Yep. So it'll be just like from the factory where you don't really take the speaker out, you take the whole thing out. The only difference is these are obviously separate and they're going to be bolted together. So we will be able to take this apart from the mounting bracket versus the stock speaker. It's all kind of made together. So you can't really take those two apart, but you will be able to take these apart, but we're still going to use these 4 holes to take this out, if we need to replace the speaker or get back there for whatever reason. So
yep, we're very pleased. All right, guys, we're going to get them two bolted together, and we will not show this on camera, but we will we'll do the same thing to the other side. We'll probably come back at the end and just show you the final product.
Yep.
All right, let's get to it. All right, guys, we took that one. We got the speaker bolted to it. I don't think we showed you that. We went over to the driver's side, took that door panel off. We test fitted the one that we made for the passenger side to make sure that everything was identical for the driver's side, and they are. So Skylar, tell them what we got going on.
So, as he said, we drilled out the holes. I don't know how well that's on camera, but we got the holes to mount this to the door, and then we got the holes to mount the speaker to the bracket. So what we're doing, we're getting our second piece of ABS plastic here. We got it taped with like sticky double-sided tape, and we're about to flush trim on the flush trim router and table here. I'm about to flush trim the outside and the inside of that hole, so we don't have to do circle jig anymore, and it just keeps it simple if we just boom and boom, make them both the exact same size, exact same cutout. And then once we're done with that, we're going to take all this excess away, of course, and then the holes, like where we drilled at, we don't have to worry about getting the holes in the same spot because we'll just drill through with the same drill bit in all those 8 spots. And then all the holes will be in the same spot, and then the outside will be the exact same and the inside will be the exact same. So both sides are going to be completely identical.
Yep.
So, and we made sure that both of the doors are identical instead of, one of them's being shaped a little different on the outside, or one of them is the speaker's like lopsided or something. It don't need to be. And the stock speakers, I don't know where they went, but this should be fine to just be perfectly identical. So that's what we're going to do, is make them identical.
Yep. So. That's right. All right, man. Let's get to it. All right, guys, we got them. We're fixing to bolt them in for the last time, wire them up, and they will be done. We are so tickled with how these turned out. All right. That was where we had the sticky tape on the back of that one, by the way, and then had to get all. It's got fingerprints on it, but had to try to get all the sticky off. Yeah. But show them. Turned out pretty good. Yeah, show them front. How slick is that, guys? Pretty cool. This is our first time to do this. I will tell you, Skylar will too. Fooling with ABS. This is ABS plastic, right? Yep. And the router, little tricky. Yeah. Little tricky. It's different than routering with wood. So anyhow, just wanted to show y'all what they look like this before we bolt them in place. But we're fixing to bolt them in right now. All right, guys, we finally got it. We listened to it off camera. I don't want to get copyrighted or anything like that. It sounds really good. Sounds better than it has since he got the car. Those 8s are giving some nice mid bass. This car is not. There's no amplifier in here. Just all head unit power, but sounds really good. Here's over here. Okay, and then there's some
it's over in that group.
Kicker. Some little kickers in there.
I can't remember what those are. We replaced those probably, maybe close to like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Maybe a year and a half. I don't know. It's been a while. But there's some pretty good kickers right here. Those are 3.5s, and these back here in the B pillar.
Yeah, let's see if I can show y'all.
It's pretty dark back there, but those in the B pillar.
There's some kickers.
It's the same series kickers. The only reason I didn't run those same series kickers in the main doors is because they don't make an 8-inch in that same series, and that's why I ended up going with the squares that were a 9-inch, because it'd be a big speaker that can fit. And like I said, the factory cars have 10-inch round speaker, or the Bose factory cars I think have 10-inch Bose speakers, so I knew I could fit a 9-inch square speaker in there. But so I went with 8s because that's just what I wanted to do, and it's fairly easy to find 8s still. 10s are a lot harder to find without having a big old beefy 10-pound magnet on the back of them. So we kind of got the best of both worlds, and it sounds really good. It's got quite a bit of bass coming through, a lot more than your average door speakers do, and a lot of mid bass. So vocals sound really crisp and clear now, so that's good. When I bought this car, I can't remember which one, but I think the driver side was blown. They might have both been blown, as far as like the main big speakers in there. But I just went ahead and replaced all of them. It sounds pretty good now. So
Yep, good deal, guys. Let us know what y'all think.
Oh, I forgot to mention this earlier, but while I'm thinking about it, this car, I just probably within the past couple of months hit right over, I don't know if it's going to show it. Well, I guess not. Anyway, it's got right over 100,000 miles, not even 101,000. It's 100,000 and 300 something, I think. But anyway.
Did we say what year it was earlier?
It's a 2009 if I didn't.
Yeah, so
it's just a base car. It's an auto.
Yeah, automatic. It is an LS3.
Yep.
The early C6s were LS2s. Yep. The 6.0. This one has a 6.2.
Yep. So this one.
Jetstream blue. I don't know if we said the color earlier.
Yeah, it's pretty much. I was looking for one for, a little over a year, and I just couldn't find one that exactly matched. And then one lucky day on a Thursday, I think, I found it on Auto Trader in Mississippi.
Yep.
And we went that Saturday and bought it.
Yeah, on the
And-
outskirts of Jackson. I can't remember the town, but it was basically the
Yeah.
outskirts of Jackson, Mississippi.
But I really wanted to get either Jetstream Blue, because I love this color. It's probably my favorite color on the planet. But I either wanted to get a Jetstream Blue or a black one. And this one just so happened to check off all the boxes and even be Jetstream Blue. Jetstream Blue is a lot harder to find than black. So
Yeah, it is.
I was kind of settling for black, but I really wanted this color. And I found this one. It was a good price. And I went and got it. So that's pretty good. It was, I can't remember, about 4 hours from here. So it wasn't too bad.
It was.
But
Yeah, me and him went and got it together. That was a fun day.
yeah, it was.
All right, I guess that's it for this one, guys. A little bit of a different kind of video, but it was a car audio kind of day for sure. So, guys, thanks for the support. Please come back for more, and we'll see you next time.